What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Tuesday, January 8th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Jeff Teague from the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have the 7th best defense overall, and they give up the 3rd fewest points to point guards. Jeff Teague has scored 46 and 45 fantasy points in his last 2 games back from injury, averaging 30.7 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. Jeff Teague is $6,500 DraftKings salary. He's $700 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 35.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's over 5 times value. Derrick Rose has been ruled out, so Jeff Teague will get the start and he'll be playing heavy minutes once again. This should be a competitive game, has an implied total of 228 points, a high scoring game. I like Jeff Teague versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Victor Oladipo from the Indiana Pacers playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are the 10th worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Victor Oladipo has scored 22, 60, and 46 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 40.2 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 33 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. Victor Oladipo is $8,400 DraftKings salary. He's $800 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 41.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's almost 5 times value. He has 60-point upside. Fantastic matchup. I love Victor Oladipo here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Tobias Harris from the LA Clippers playing the Charlotte Hornets, who have the 6th worst defense overall, and they're about middle of the pack defending opposing small forwards. Tobias Harris has scored 46, 28, and 35 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 36.9 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 34 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. Tobias Harris is $7,600 DraftKings salary. He's $100 more on FanDuel, projected at 35.4 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 37 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. It's a home game, it's a fast-paced game, and Tobias Harris has scored 35, 47, and 42 fantasy points in the last 3 games versus the Charlotte Hornets. So he likes that matchup. I do too. I like Tobias Harris here versus the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I like Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors playing the Atlanta Hawks, who have the absolute worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Pascal Siakam has scored 31, 45, and 30 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 30.5 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. Pascal Siakam is $6,700 DraftKings salary. He's $600 more on FanDuel. I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 28.6 fantasy points here tonight. I don't see why there's any reason he doesn't score over 30 in this matchup. He'll need about 32 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. There's an implied total of 229 points in this game. Fantastic matchup, high-paced game, at home. I love this spot for Pascal Siakam versus a bad Atlanta defense. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors playing the New York Knicks, who have the second worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing centers. Draymond Green has scored 36, 41, and 27 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 31.8 fantasy points per game on the season, in an average of 32 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. Draymond Green is $7,200 DraftKings salary. He's $100 less on FanDuel, so I love that FanDuel price. Projected at 33.2 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 35 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. Draymond Green has scored 39, 29, 32, and 34 fantasy points in his last 4 games versus the New York Knicks. So he's close to that 5 times value. He's got 40-50 point upside. There's an implied total of 231.5 points in this game. I like Draymond Green with a fantastic matchup here tonight versus the New York Knicks. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.